What's going on, everybody? This is the RGR Football Channel on YouTube. My name's Daniel Harms, film analyst here, and today we have one more film review for you guys because, as with all these draft picks, you have to be able to see what they do, what they offer, what they bring to the table. Yesterday, we did the Chiefs linebacker in the third round, Leo Chenal, one of my favorite value and real picks in the entire draft for Kansas City. And today, we cover my absolute favorite pick, Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington, that they traded up for in the first round with the New England Patriots to go and get. They wanted him bad. They didn't expect him to be there in the draft, and that goes to show you that sometimes players come off their board for reasons that you can't anticipate. In this draft, it was all over the place. We didn't really know what was going to happen, where they were going to go. I thought maybe they would trade up to get an Andrew Booth at 21. Turns out to be Trent McDuffie. So I'm pretty happy that Kansas City decided to forego their long-term love affair with fourth round corners only, and fourth round and below corners only, to go get one of my favorite and the smartest corner in this entire draft class. He's not the biggest guy in the world, has sub 30-inch arms, but everything else that he brings to the table is proof that he deserves and belongs to be in one of the best teams in football. So let's go ahead and get into the tape, because I want to show you guys off the start one of the main reasons why I absolutely love this guy. He knows everything. He sees everything. He's so patient and understanding with how teams want to run their offense. And it goes to show you that you can be prepared and understand. Like, he comes and nearly picks off this football up at the top of the screen without even really doing much. He's just going to drop into a shallow zone, wait for this guy to pass him, keeping his eyes focused on the quarterback, okay? He's got, one of the things about him dropping into the zone here is you have multiple people that can kind of come down this area here so you can recover yourself. There's not a lot of space to work with, so he knows that. He's not exactly trying to get all the way downfield. He just wants to see what ends up unfolding. And obviously this guy goes behind him, so that he can now come underneath and break up this pass. Always, as he's dropping into that set, gets his eyes on the quarterback. He reads the quarterback very well, obviously. The quarterback here from Montana State did not do a great job of disguising where he was going with it, but still, you see the makings of a great quarterback. Or cornerback, excuse me. Granted, I guess you could say it either way because it sounds the same, but he has a lot of the tools that you're looking for in these types of corners. He has the anticipation. He has the eyes. He can find the ball very well. He can locate. He can recognize route patterns. And that's the biggest thing, is they saw this little tiny out route with the essentially like a flag route going behind him, and he cuts it off underneath, recognizing the quarterback's eyes, and breaks up the pass. So he's so much fun to watch, and they can use him in multiple ways. I actually saw him spying against Arizona State when I was watching the other day. Like, he can be a multifaceted type of player because he has exceptional downhill acceleration as well as like tackling technique. Look at him get in here on a little slot blitz. Just come down to the slot after they motion the wide receiver out wide, and then he's just going to say goodbye. That right across the wide receiver's face, unencumbered to the running back. When you have that ability to be able to do that, you can be used in multiple different ways. He has the speed, he has the short area agility, and again, Washington liked to blitz him off the slot, which is something we saw Steve Spagnuolo do with Jerry Sneed a lot. So they want to get a little bit more physical and get a little bit more blitzy with some of their safeties and their corners. I'm a big fan of that personally, and I think McDuffie brings exactly what you're looking for that type of player. Another thing that I really like off of his game tape is, like I mentioned just a moment ago, his quickness and the ability to get into his sets very easily and get depth quickly when he needs to. You see the running back here going to the flat and up the field. My apologies. You're going to have the running back release out up this way, but he has a responsibility here to jam this receiver. So you have to commit inside, but also understand that you have to be able to be quick enough and fast enough with the foot speed and the agility to get outside. And watch how he flips his hips as he's doing all of this. He goes in for the jab, boom, there, flip, boom. And no loss of movement, no loss of acceleration. He's able to do all of this in one swift movement. That's what you can tell from him, is he's able to change directions and stay in phase with what his responsibilities are and how to get the proper depth while also having to do something that makes him go forward. Like, read a running play or get a jam on a receiver just so that he doesn't get a free release. I'd like to be able to see him do that, and it's very nice to see that type of hit fluidity from the Chiefs' future #1 corner. You've drafted the first corner in the first round. He's going to be the #1 corner for that team. Another thing that he really does bring is tackling technique. For a guy who's not as big, you have to be able to tackle properly, right? We saw in that blitz where he's able to get underneath the running back and kind of lift him up. From the top of the screen here, you really get to see him line up, drive through a tackle, and perfectly execute what he is able to do to bring down this guy in open space, kind of open space. We won't say it's that much. He knows that he's limited in what he can do. So when you see McDuffie initialize his downhill movement, he does it all in a controlled manner. He's not just running down the seam, or he's not trying to run down the sideline to get this guy. He's controlled. Okay, so he knows that even though he's up against the sideline, there's space to work with. You have a block here, and there's lots of room. Okay, for most receivers, you're able to make things happen in short areas and short corridors like this. But as he condenses down to the receiver, he's not just running. Because if you just run with some of these guys, you can miss and then go. So what does he do? He's slower about it. So you see, he's condensing, and gets in there. Perfect technique. Absolutely perfect technique from Trent McDuffie. And I love that. That makes me so happy because we know in Kansas City, the corners are going to be asked to be a part of the run game and be tacklers. Travarius Ward was last year, and they're going to ask Trent McDuffie, now Lonnie Johnson Jr., as well as L'Jarius Sneed and everybody else out there to tackle. L'Jarius bumped up his tackling ability last year by a very good margin. He was a pretty decent tackler in open spaces. This is another thing that McDuffie brings to the table. He has all of those intangibles, the technique. Again, condensing short and making it so right here, if he's just speeding down here and he's in this position, he's going to go, this receiver's going around you because you're uncontrolled going downhill. But he's controlled in a great manner, executes, gets that shoulder on the football, and boom, tackle in open space. That's beautiful technique. Beautiful. All right, we got McDuffie up here at the top here. And this is, like I told you earlier, that he's got some speed. He does have some legit closing speed. He doesn't get tested a lot because downfield he's an excellent ball hawk, as we'll show later in this review. But watch what he's able to do. This is a third down play. They're trying to get a shallow crosser opened up here with open space. Okay, so you have all this stuff. Really, you have McDuffie in a technical poor position because he had to come across these guys or through some traffic to get here. You're trying to find a way to essentially pick off McDuffie. But look at him close. Look at him close, just getting across the formation. He is such a good accelerator and can close space quickly, find ways to get through traffic, and is just always around the football when it's near him. That's why they don't want to test him. They don't like testing him, especially if they're going to test him. It's going to be across the formation where he has to run and not downfield. Like, these are all parts of his game that are really excellent. And just look at him staying in phase with the receiver, closing space, tackling. So much fun. He's going to do it again here. Like, this is how good he is. He's such a fun player. So you know who you're watching. Look at all the traffic he's going to have to get through. Just look at it. But again, it all opens up and boom! Woo! Also on third down. This kind of stuff makes me happy. It makes me giddy. Like, watching him lay a hit like this in the open field. Again, he doesn't have to wrap up because the technique that he's using to take out the receiver's legs while he's turning to go upfield is everything. It's what you need. It's technically sound. It's not over the top. It's not uncontrolled. He knows exactly what he's doing. He times everything wonderfully. And again, right here, the timing. You see a receiver going to catch to attack mode is what he does, and he knows that receiver's trying to get outside. So when the receiver squares up his shoulders, that's when he starts to go after the knees and go down below. He's such a smart player. He knows how to do all of this stuff in those split seconds that it takes to make decisions. Like, he knew from the moment that receiver was getting the ball how he was taking him down. On third down, forcing another fourth down. That's 2 plays in a row. We just watched him make a play on third down. And you saw them both on crossing routes, trying to get guys open because they don't want to test him up the field. I want to make sure you guys get it from the beginning because this is a little more important to the story of Trent McDuffie. So we got to catch up here. All right. Up at the top of your screen, the reason I always say he's one of the smartest players in this class at corner is because of the way that he plays the game. He's patient, but he also he knows that he has the foot speed and the agility to make up for where he is on the field if he has to. And when you have those intangibles at corner, it makes up for it. And obviously, this is just him staying in phase with his receiver and making a tackle. But the big part about this entire play is that through that stem manipulation, tempting stem manipulation, the receiver is trying to make the corner bite on something. Go inside, go outside. Just look at his back pedal. Look at him. He stays square to the receiver all the entire time. And then when he breaks, he goes with him. Hand on him, but he's never in a bad position there. Always in the best position to make a play on the football because he's a deterrent. You can't throw it there because he'll just come and swipe it away. He knows all of this stuff, and it's so much fun to watch him play because it's like I said, it's not super flashy. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He doesn't have the long arms that you want at corner, but he does it all so technically sound and smooth that it's something else. And when you get into that type of mode as a corner, when you can technically be a shutdown guy at the college level, we'll wait and see about the NFL level. You have this. No one wants to test him. Like, they don't want to test him. This kind of became okay, I see some open space here, so I'm going to throw it downfield. And McDuffie comes away with the pick. Like, this was one of the only times I saw him get challenged downfield because teams didn't want to. And he still has the ball skills, the timing to come down with an interception when he doesn't have the size or the arm length on this guy. He's just getting into a deep drop right here, and then he's able to find it. Again, he got his header onto the last second, course corrected, because he's coming outside here, and the receiver was smart enough to try to come back around him. And then he's still able to outmuscle him for the football. Like, that is the type of play you want, that I'm looking for from a corner that doesn't have the arms. If you don't have the arms, the arm length to play against bigger receivers, you have to have other things. And timing is that thing. He timed it exceptionally well. Ball location as well. Knowing that the receiver is trying to bait him outside to come back to the inside, and then he looks around, finds it, and then comes back to the football. Body control, all of those things. Excellent positioning, excellent timing, understanding. All of it comes back to him being super smart and knowing everything. That's one of the big reasons that Washington corners succeed in the NFL, why they're so good. They come in and they get excellent ball production. People don't want to test them all the time, and they find ways to make plays because they're smart. They're well read. They study playbooks, and they're always in the film room. They're studying constantly, and that's the thing about Trent McDuffie. He's going to come in and be one of the smartest players on the field already, but he's going to get even better getting into this defense with the offensive looks that Kansas City brings on the offensive side. It's going to help him be even better at the NFL level. So the fact that the Chiefs went to go get him specifically as a corner in the first round tells you how they view him, how they see his mental side, and how they think he can overcome all of those technical, physical shortcomings with his brain. That's how good he is. And that's how good he's going to be in the NFL. I truly believe that the Chiefs have an excellent corner here. Time will obviously tell what he becomes at the NFL level, but the makings of a very young, solid secondary in Kansas City when you think about the safeties that they have with Justin Reed, Juan Thornhill. Now you have L'Jarius Sneed coming into his third year. You have, that's the third year. I was right, making sure I was right about that. And then you add Trent McDuffie in the bevy of guys that they drafted alongside Lonnie Johnson Jr. They are building a secondary that's athletic, that's smart, that has the tools, the intangibles, and that now, outside of McDuffie, is size, and they want to hit. Even McDuffie wants to hit you. So it's all about what they're trying to build here, and I really like what they're doing, what the Chiefs have done. McDuffie was the cherry on top, even though he was the first-round pick for me, because no one expected the Chiefs to trade up, to select the corner, much less trade up to go get one. So Trent McDuffie, corner out of Washington, is going to be a very fine addition to this defense. I think he has the mentality that you want to. You saw a couple times after the play where he's like more calmly suave about it, but he's got that mentality like, you are not going to beat me That's the dog mentality you have to have in the NFL, and it's going to pay off with Trent McDuffie. So I hope you guys enjoyed both the film reviews this week with Leo Chanel last night and Trent McDuffie today. I'm going to get with you guys on the Chief in the North. We'll see if Seth is available for that. Make sure to tune in for that if it is going on. And yeah, I'll be off next week, but Ryan will take over for me so we can both get a little bit of a relaxation after this heavy film week. I will still be streaming on my Twitch channel, so if you guys want to watch that, it's at In Harm's Way 19 on Twitch. Make sure to look that up. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, the bell, and the sub notification so you get everything that's going on here and we can get farther out to the vast nation that is Chiefs Kingdom. Please, everyone, have a great day. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.